The weekly dividend ETFs had a phenomenal week, paying out some insane dividends in this account. Welcome back to the channel, guys. For those of you that are new, I invested $100 into each of the weekly paying dividend ETFs, and we are tracking their progress. This has been so much fun experimenting with these to see which ones pay the most, which ones lose the most in value, and overall which ones make us the most money. So I hope you guys enjoyed this update. It's update number 28, which is insane. There's 28 of these videos out now. So if you guys are interested in making money in the stock market through dividends, through investing, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like the video and to subscribe so you don't miss future updates and don't miss out on the insane returns that some of these weekly payers could have. Let's roll that intro. There is some exciting news when it comes to this account. I am buying the newest two weekly pairs, that is RDTY and CHPY. I think those are the only two I don't have currently. Money is being transferred in so that I will be able to buy them tomorrow, hopefully, and then we'll start getting more dividends. I cannot believe there are 16 of these ETFs out now. Absolutely insane. We do have $85.73 in total cash, so I want you guys to vote down below which ETF should I buy more of. ULTY, YMAG, and YMAX are on drip. So it's up to you guys with whatever else you think I should buy. I'm thinking maybe some more YBTC because it has been bouncing back insanely well, which we will see in just a moment. I am going to move through very quickly because there are so many of these now. I don't want these videos to be too long. So I'm going to hit the key points and boom, 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 one after the other. The Defiance ETFs have not fared well, and they just keep slowly trending downward. Unfortunately, we can see that IWMY, we are down 31%. 31.4%, which is absolutely insane. And look at this chart. It is just hideous. It really is. It fell from $41 all the way to $23. And the dividends are not making up for that loss all the way, unfortunately. It's also shrinking in AUM down to just over 100 million AUM and a dividend yield of 113%. Now, for those of you that are new, we've seen these dividend yields get higher and higher and higher because as the price falls, the dividend payout is typically around the same amount, meaning that percentage is continuing to increase because the price, again, is dropping, which is not good. We can see our buy point right here, and it has done nothing but fall since then. Volume's kind of stagnant. I'm not sure what's going to happen with these. Let's check the last couple of distributions. We had 32 cents, we had 31 cents, we had 28 cents, and all the way up to 33 cents. It was a very good week for dividends this week, and I think you guys are going to see that at the end of each update. I'll show you on my dividend tracking spreadsheet, which has all the data from this challenge on there, and it's going to show us which ones have paid the most dividends and which ones have made the most money overall, countering in how they have fallen in price for a lot of them. So IWMY, not super impressed. Let's jump to the next Defiance ETF, QQQY. It's a lot making these videos over and over again, especially in these down markets, because a lot of the Defiance ETFs just perform the same. QQQY, which is also really hard to say over and over and over again, has fallen insanely as well. $40 to under 24, which is just crazy. And we have a 94% dividend yield. AUM 125. The AUM is also falling. What I think is happening is I think people are pulling their money out of these. I'll be honest. I think they are selling off the Defiance ones to buy some that have more upward projection, maybe YBTC, or they're moving it into other funds that are just really beaten up as well, that have a better, I don't know, prospect, that seem like better prospects, I should say. But these last couple of weeks haven't been terrible. We've been seeing a bit of a bounce, which is phenomenal. And the dividends, of course, we had almost 29 cents, and then we had 27.5 cents, 25 cents, and back up to over 29, almost 30 cents, which we have not seen a 30-cent dividend from IWMY in a very long time, since January 16. So that's a pretty big deal. So the prices are evening out now, and the dividends are picking up. Does that mean these are going to be a buy pretty soon here? I think it really depends on what the market is going to do. Let's check into my favorite Defiance ETF that pays every single week, ticker WDTE. Believe it or not, WDTE was the best performer 1 week in the account just a couple of weeks ago. It has taken a little bit of a beating since then, and we can see it's down 24.15%, which is not good at all. When we pull up the chart, it looks similar, but not nearly as bad as the others. So they had fallen from $40 to $24. It's fallen from 46 to 32, so a little bit better. AUM is lower, funny enough, because this is the best performing overall total return ETF by Defiance that pays weekly, just between the weekly payers, but it is still the smallest, even though it's performing better, which is very funny to me, and a dividend yield of 60%. Very, very high, hard to continue at that rate, but we'll see what it can do. Again, bounce back a little bit. nothing too crazy from this ETF. The volume is really low, and that's why it's just not traded that much. We can also see last couple of dividends. We had 32.3 cents. We had 31.3 cents. We had 28.6 cents. And lastly, 35.24 cents. Absolutely insane. A huge dividend. Might be the highest we've seen from WDTE. I don't want to say ever, but I mean, I don't remember one being that high from this. We had 33. Yep, 35. This might be the highest. We'll see on our tracking spreadsheet, but I'm pumped. And this has really boosted the overall value of the account, these insanely high dividends these last couple weeks. Now onto the RoundHill ETF, starting off with RDTE. I get mixed reviews, and I want to know what you guys think. I'm sad at how the RoundHill ones have been performing. I thought they'd do a little bit better, but all in all, when you look at the total performance and total return, they're not that bad compared to what a lot of funds are doing, what a lot of stocks are doing. A lot of things are dropping right now. It's a bad market. So I try not to hold them like to a way higher standard. RDTE is down 28%, just unrealized profit loss. And we can see it still hasn't been trading for a full year yet. It looks like, no, not even really close. We have an AUM of 120 million and a dividend yield. It's still in the 60% range, which is pretty insane. Remember that the dividend yield on Moomoo doesn't always correlate correctly because it has to trade for a full year for the dividend yield to be accurate. That's how they're calculating it on the trailing 12 months. So we can see RDTE has actually bounced quite nicely. I'm very surprised to see that. The market has been good these last couple of days, and it's really helping. But are the dividends big? Let's see. Last couple of dividends, we had 19 cents. Then we had 32, an insane jump. Then we had 24.5. And now we have 24 again. So not as insane as the Defiance ETFs, but the bounce in price is definitely needed for these ETFs. I'm happy to see that. We really needed that for our overall profit in the account. Probably one of the fan favorite funds is ticker QDTE. We can actually see, I mean, it's down 25.5%, which is not good. But when we pull up the chart, is it bouncing back a little bit? Maybe it is. We're getting more accurate data as these are now, I believe, over 1 year old, or at least close to it. If we zoom all the way out, started trading looks like March 4. So yes, we have surpassed 1 year, which is insane. Absolutely insane. And we can see our buy points as well on the year chart. Oh, it's ugly. It's just fallen, but what are you going to do? AUM of 665 million. It's bumped up from the last couple of weeks where it was dropping, and a dividend yield of about 50%, which is pretty accurate according to my calculations. I will say, if you guys think you're going to like Moomoo, there is a discount code you can use down below that gets me some affiliate perks, and it helps you guys get some perks as well. And Moomoo has been one of the best brokerages for the weekly payers. I cannot find a better brokerage that trades these because it gets them instantly. It has like all of them, all the new ones right away, even when my actual Roth IRA brokerage, which is a different one, doesn't. It takes a long time, sometimes because these are very new, different types of ETFs, and Moomoo has been phenomenal. So if you use that link down below, help support the channel. It helps me do more challenges just like this. So if you guys are interested, don't do it if you're not interested. Of course. Let's look at the last couple of distributions. Volume's been all over the place. We had 23.6 cents. Ooh, shares. 23.6 cents. Then we had 25 cents. We had low at 18 cents and back up to 20, almost 21 cents. So solid. Again, not as good as the Defiance dividends that we've seen over the past couple week and a half, but not bad. Let's jump into XDTE, one of the best performers in the account in the long run. Down just under 20%, not nearly as bad as some of the others, but XDTE was supposed to perform better price-wise and pay out less in dividends, but it's still taking quite the beating, but not as bad. At a high of $54 to a low of almost $41, we're not doing too bad. We can also see that the AUM, 351 million, large, but not as big as some of the others. A dividend yield of about 34%, which is pretty accurate again. So XDTE is one of my favorites, I will say. I like it a lot. I like a little more stability in the price rather than just really insane dividends because I think there's more longevity in this style, but only time will tell. We did buy an extra share kind of on its way down, which has helped this one be a better performer in the account. And we can see that people are buying this one quite a bit. April 7th of this month, they were going absolutely nuts, buying a ton. And since then, volume has trailed off a little bit, but it's still looking pretty good. Last couple of distributions, we can see 21 cents, 27.5 cents. We had 21.5 cents and 23.5 cents. So some really good consistent dividends. Same story as RDTE and QDTE with the dividends, but no complaints. No complaints. We need the price to come back a little bit. We need the market to turn around a little bit, and that's what I'm hopeful for. Speaking of markets turning around, our next one is ticker YBTC, which is based off of Bitcoin. So it has been doing phenomenally well. Let's check it out. One thing I really like about this ETF is whenever Bitcoin drops, I might be buying a little bit. I haven't tried this strategy yet, but Bitcoin has been all over the place. Maybe we're in crypto winter. Maybe it's slowing down. All in all, the dividends have been very solid from YBTC, and it's only down 11.6%, which is phenomenal. Second, I mean, it's performing really well, and we're going to see that on the tracking spreadsheet. I'm not going to give it away. But look at this. This thing is rebounding. Bitcoin went back up into the 90,000s per coin. Phenomenal for this fund. And so it's been rising. We have an AUM of 170 million and a dividend yield of 51%. And again, this only converted to weekly paying in the beginning of this year. So we haven't truly seen how it's going to perform. I would love it to go back up to $58. That would rocket the account. Last couple of dividends, we had 32.7 cents. We had 28 cents. We had 30, almost 31 cents, and now 44 cents. Holy smokes. We have not seen one. Actually, we have. We saw one at 56 cents at the end of March, but still a phenomenal dividend. No complaints about YBTC. Really, really interesting all over the place, but it's been making some money. Now let's talk about our newest weekly payer that also is the most consistent, hands down, but the lowest yield. I'm talking about ticker WEEK. There's really not much to talk about with Week. I mean, the dividends this last week were kind of quirky. I'm not sure what happened. They came out at weird times when I got them on Moomoo. I got half of them, and then I got a 2-day wait, and then a bunch more. And that's why this video is coming out later than usual. I normally put it up on Tuesday, but I don't know what happened. I'm not even going to look into it too far. We have all the dividends. Here's what they've been paying out. Week has been consistent, no complaints. There's also not going to be a lot to talk about this one because price-wise, it really shouldn't fluctuate that much because it's written on T-bills. I have a full video on this ETF if you're interested, and it yields 4% pretty consistently. Low AUM of 6 million, it's just a safety play, really. That's kind of how I view it, but it could be good if you had uninvested cash that you were thinking about. Of course, not financial advice, but not going to be the top performer in the account unless we're in a market like we've seen with these last couple months, because it has been one of the top performers, being able to barely stay positive. Onto the newest YieldMax fund, except for the two I haven't purchased yet. We have XDTE. We are down 18.6%, which is not looking good for this one. It just tanked and has not been able to recover from that initial price. And I'm curious, people seem to be a little bit upset with YieldMax. They're making so many of these funds, but they're not really improving on them. So maybe we'll see more with like LFGY and GPTY in the future, but I need SDTY to do well if I'm even going to consider holding this one. We have a lot of other 0DTE S&P 500 covered call strategy ETFs, which is again another mouthful. So it's really going to have to do well to make me buy this one over one by, let's say, RoundHill. Now, we can see charts not great. AUM is low, 10 million. These used to rocket at like 200 million on the first day they were available because they were so new. But now it's kind of saturated. We've had a lot of the weekly payers. So I'm not sure how they're going to hold up, if they're going to keep trading long term, which would be a big bummer if you put money into it and they stopped trading. But there's been no rumors about that yet. It's just me kind of being cynical. Last couple of dividends, we can see 27 cents, 22 cents, almost 23 cents, 30, 31 cents, and 30 cents. Phenomenal. Again, can't complain. The dividends have been consistent. SDTY is one that I will be watching very closely in the future to compare to some of the others. But we need to talk about the elephant in the room when it comes to YieldMax, their worst performing weekly paying dividend ETF, ticker LFGY. I am happy to say that it is no longer the worst performer in the account. IWMY overtook it as the worst performer, which is, well, being the worst performer is somewhere IWMY has been consistently. So I can't complain. We are down almost 31%. It's ugly, but it's bouncing back. So that's what we're going to hold on to. I'm not going to dive too far into the details. We're going to hold on to the fact that it is coming back up. We can see it has just under an $80 million AUM, and the dividend yield about 19%. It's probably roughly in the 50s or 60s. Actually, when I first calculated this one, if the dividend's consistent, it was up in the 70s because it pays out insane amounts of money, which we can see. We had 47.5 cents. We had 42 cents. We had 42 cents again and 43 cents. So even the dividend has bounced back this week. Absolutely phenomenal. Let's hope its partner, ticker GPTY, can also do the same. Way better, down 22.65%. Maybe it's bouncing back. Doesn't look like it chart-wise, but it's just doing better. AUM of 20 million, a dividend yield. This one I believe is in the 50s, and we see the last couple of dividends. We had a 26, almost 27 cent dividend. We had 20, almost 23 and a half. Then we had 25 and a half, and now we've had 24.7. So consistent, solid dividends. The price needs to keep going up, and those dividends stay consistent, and then I'll be very, very happy with these. And I think a lot of people will reconsider their opinions on YieldMax after we see this crazy market roll over a little bit. If it does, could get worse, could get better. I don't have a crystal ball. I won't be able to tell you. You guys can give me your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you guys are doing. Are you still buying things? Are we selling? Do we think the market's going to flip? We're back in the green. Are we going to see more red? I want to know. I've had like 3 or 4 back-to-back green days in my account, which has not been the case for a very long time. So I'm excited about that for sure. Now for another fan favorite, ticker ULTY, and I'll tell you why it's a fan favorite. It's down under 8%. It converted to weeklies very, very recently. So if we go to year to date, we converted to weeklies right here. So it was still priced at about just under $7. So we still have fallen quite a bit, and it's been bouncing around like mad. What I like about this one is because it's so cheap per share, $5.80, you are able to buy a lot, and the dividends are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The AUM is also a little bit bigger at 215 million and a dividend yield of about, last I checked, it was at like 97%, which is insane. Is it going to be able to keep that up forever? Probably not. Is it going to be able to keep it up for a little bit of time, enough for us to make some crazy money on this? Maybe. Only time will tell. But anyways, I like it and I get the hype behind it. We can see the last couple of dividends, we had almost 10 cents, almost 9 cents. Then we had low 8 cents, and we bounced back up this time at 8.5 cents, which is good. I like to see the dividends moving back up, or at least in an upward trajectory. Very, very fun. And that's why our dividend tracker is so important. So all in all, ULTY, I think people really like this one, and I can't disagree with them. YMAG and YMAX, our last two. We're going to start with YMAG. These two have been competing since the beginning for the best performing fund, and I would definitely say YMAX has come out on top more often than not. YMAG is down 22, almost 23%, which is not good, but we officially have a full extra share just from DRIP, which is amazing. Although ULTY, it buys like an extra share every month, and that's how insane this is, because every time you get a new share, you're getting those new dividends, that compounding factor. Which, if you guys didn't know, I talked all about compounding in Ari Gutman's latest podcast. It was so fun, and Ari is definitely a friend, and I'm really looking forward to working more with him in the future. I will link that podcast down below for those of you that are interested. It's a full YouTube video, and we just talked about everything. Dividends, ETFs, why I prefer dividend investing to growth investing, why these covered call ETFs are so cool, how dividend investors are changing the market with how we want retail to have more power and say, oh, we want these weekly pairs, we want these monthly pairs, and a bunch of other good stuff. So go check that out if you are interested once this video is up for sure. So moving on into the chart for YMAG. We can see it bouncing all over, but I keep buying at these lows. I do, and that drip just shows over and over and over again. Every time I get a dividend, I'm buying right back in, and the compounding should be really, really good. We can see AUM 288 million and a 50% dividend yield, which is pretty solid. I mean, I can't complain. I really can't. YMAG, last couple of dividends, we had an 8 cent dividend, 8.4 cent, then we had almost 10 cents, and then we had almost 10 cents again, and now we have almost 9.5 cents. So consistent. I'm not sure if these are falling. It seems like they used to be a bit higher, but I think they did some sort of restructuring or something like that. People were commenting about it. Let me know if you know anything about it, because the dividends have been consistently lower, but the price has been doing a little bit better. Maybe it's something to do with just the overall market and the Magnificent 7 stocks falling. I can do this. The Magnificent 7. Amazon, Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, Microsoft, Google. What's number 7? How do I do this every time? I always forget one. Did I don't know. Good enough. Let me know what I forgot down in the comments, because I won't be able to remember. But all in all, not too bummed with YMAG. Let's wait and see how it has performed and if we're losing money or making money on this ETF. YMAX. Absolutely insane. We are at 6.25 shares. It is moving. Remember, we bought 5 initially. We are down 23.5%, which is not great, but we are seeing a little bit of a comeback with this one as well. Huge AUM, 689 million, the largest in the account, larger than QDTE, and a dividend yield of 64%. So I would say this is probably the fan favorite. I mean, it's 3 times the size of ULTY. It's double the size of XDTE. It's a big fund. There's a lot of money in this fund. So bounce back, that's what I'm hoping for. Let's check these dividends. We had 13 cents. We had almost 18 cents. Then we had 13 cents again. And now we're at 13 cents again, but a little bit above. So not too bad. Everything's going to come down to this price, this cheat sheet that I have that's going to show us what's made money, because the dividends are one thing, but total return is a really big factor for me. Per usual, I am running out of room on the dividend tracking spreadsheet, which is available for our tier 3 members. If you guys are interested, you get some cool perks, help support the channel as well, but only if you're interested and you want a spreadsheet to track your own dividends, specifically your weekly dividends, because that's what I use this for. That's what it was created for primarily, and monthly dividends, of course. You can use it for quarterly, but it's just not the same feeling, you know? So IWMY paid out 99 cents, a phenomenal dividend. We have not seen it this high since March, which actually seems, man, this year is going by quick. Holy smokes. Couple weeks, so very solid. We had 90 cents from QQQY, which is the best that we've seen for a very long time. I mean, all the way back to January. WDTE had a rocket dividend as well, 70 cents. We have not seen 70 cents for, what, have we ever seen 70 cents? That might be, is that the highest dividend ever from WDTE? It is the highest dividend we've ever received from WDTE. Insane. QDTE 63 cents, a little bit on the lower end. XDTE 71 cents, again on the lower end. And RDTE 71 cents, again on the lower end. Not the lowest we've seen, but nothing really good. Then we move all the way over. We have YMAG at 56 cents. YMAX at 83 cents, YBTC at 89 cents. So it's not our biggest dividend from YBTC, but very, very solid for sure. We have LFGY at 86 cents, a little bit bouncing back, which I like to see. I was really worried that LFGY would have a really high yield and the dividends would consistently fall and that yield would fall, but they're kind of shaping it up a little bit right now. It's gotten a little bit more time, which is good, but it used to be over $1 pretty consistently. Then we have GPTY, 51 cents, good. It's still coming down a little bit that I don't like. SDTY, a really solid dividend of 62 cents, quite a jump from last week. ULTY at $1.41, which is phenomenal. Finally, we have WEEK. It's populating now, which is absolutely great. I don't know why it took so long to get that on Seeking Alpha, but it did. And we've had 8 cents every single time. It did do this weird double dividend thing, and I'm not sure if it's just a glitch in what the payout was, but I actually think we're just ahead of schedule for next week, so we'll see. But let's check it out. Did I skip ULTY? I did. 141 for ULTY. Not bad at all. Maybe a little lower leaning, but I mean, it's so cheap. It's hard to argue with that one. So we'll see. I want it to bounce back up and stay consistent. Consistency with the dividends is key. So we're going to slide all the way to the right and check out how much money we made. This week, we made $10.40. It's not our best week, but it is up there. Definitely up there. I like when we're in the tens. You can see we're making more and more from dividends, and that is partially because I keep buying more, which would definitely help the overall dividend income. But I'm happy with that. $10.40 in a week from what? $1,400 invested is nothing to look down on. In our positions tab, now we're going to see exactly how much money we've made with these ETFs. We do definitely have a lot of growth. So YMAG, YMAX, and ULTY, I updated all of them on here. And so it's going to be as close to accurate as you can get. We can see, I don't want to sneak in too much. Some of them are coming back up a little bit. YBTC is coming back up. We have GPTY coming back up in price-wise. And WEEK staying consistent, which is what we expect that one to do. Now, sliding all the way over, we can see the damage not nearly as bad as I was anticipating. Actually, really, really solid. We had a crazy bounce back from a lot of these funds. IWMY is still down 9.3%. QQQY is down 9.91%. So the ability for IWMY to pay out higher in dividends has fixed this because it is down overall almost 2% more than QQQY. But the higher dividends are making up for it. WDTE is now down 5%, which is not good. The dividend was insanely large, but the price has fallen quite a bit, even though, again, it was our best performer a couple weeks ago. QDTE is bouncing back up. It's only down 8.3%. XDTE is down 8.71%. These have been neck and neck with best performer. And then we have, of course, RDTE, the prodigal son, down 11.85%. I hope it can bounce back. Then we have YMAG, that's down 4%, and YMAX, that's up 0.31%. Now, what really surprised me with this was these two were neck and neck, and now you're looking at a plus 4% swing between the two. YMAG would have a week where it was better, and then YMAX would outcompete, and back and forth, back and forth. Of course, we have YBTC. Like I said, it's bouncing back. We are positive by 2% now, which is phenomenal. And then into our worst performers, LFGY down 18%, GPTY down 16.3%, and SDTY, even though it's new, is down 14.4%. Although we do need to cut these a little bit of slack. They came out at a really poor time. Really, really poor time. So I don't love to knock on them too much. We need to see how they do in a year from now if the markets shape up a little bit better. And then, of course, ULTY, barely negative. Barely 0.04%. So I want that one to keep up and keep those insane dividends coming out. And then we have WEEK that's up 0.36%. It's the second best performer and it has the lowest yield in the account. Only yields 4%, which is insane. So we're going to slide all the way over and see what has paid out the most in dividends. These numbers always seem to shock everybody. We have YieldMax in first place with 27 cents. Then in second place, IWMY with 23 cents. Then we have 23 cents as well from YMAG. Those ones are just dividend powerhouses. QDTE, 22 cents. Sorry, $22.19. RDTE, $21.92. XDTE, a lot less. WDTE with that last dividend has been bumped up. It's up to $14 now. $21 from QQQI, and all the rest are relatively new. ULTY has paid out $9, which is insane because we've only had it for a few months, and it's already at $9. It's on track to outpace a lot of the others and become the highest dividend yielder. Well, highest dividend payer and yielder in the account, I guess you'd say. But we don't know what YBTC is going to do, if it's going to pick back up with like it did this last week. Man, so much is going on, but what a phenomenal week in the market and what a phenomenal week for our weekly dividend ETFs. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. If you did and you want to track all my progress on all of my challenges, from my YieldMax challenge to the weekly dividend ETF challenge to my high yield challenge to my normal stock challenge, all of that is available. You can track me for free on the Blossom app. I love Blossom. It's super cool. I finally partnered with them. I've been watching them for a very long time. The app is phenomenal. And again, it's free to download. You can track me on there, follow me, and you'll see the full breakdown on all the portfolios that I run for YouTube, which is super cool. You can also follow other investors, bigger investors, smaller investors, your friends, and see what everyone's buying, what they're trading, and their total performances. So if you're crazy in the red, maybe leave those out if you're trying to convince everybody you're a phenomenal investor. But no, don't do that. We're all in this together. It's super cool. So check it out. Use my link down below for sure. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this, again, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy these videos popping up on your screen right now, one of which is a new Warren Buffett monthly paying dividend ETF, which is phenomenal. Check that out. Let me know what you think, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.